forgot. Sorry. Hi, welcome to a special bonus episode of Cunning Buffoons podcast. I'm Tess.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Mike.
Today we brought Tess in to talk about women's rights and why they don't need them.
They do need them.
Yeah,
Why?
like I was trying to
Stay in
explain
the
to Mom,
kitchen.
like
No.
Is that their rights that they need?
I was-
They have the right to stay in the
like
You're
I
right
would
to
not
say
I would not watch a podcast with women in it. Like
Neither would I. Boo, women.
exactly.
Good gracious.
I'm really channeling Dylan energy right
You
now.
really channel. Yeah. Okay.
You
This
sit in
is
the
a
chair,
bonus
use
episode.
the
though. Like,
microphone,
You're talking.
you become
You're
it.
talking.
you
too much.
are
Shut up.
the Tess Cunningham.
I am the Tess Cunningham. If you ask two people at 4-H.
Well, no, and about 500, probably fifth or sixth figures now.
Yeah,
that
because
will-
you've told them that I'm the Tess Cunningham.
Yeah.
Other than that, no one else. Well, other than annoying men who really don't need rights.
What? Okay, there are some men that probably don't need any rights.
I know some men at 4-H, they needed some rights taken away.
Did they need their rights taken away, or did you need to like not be called alone with them?
No, they're just like annoying. Like, you just need to have the right to freedom of speech. Like, that's just a right you don't need, because like everything coming out is just
Why?
there.
Put your mic close to you.
I feel like this is close enough.
There
Is it
you go.
not?
Yeah. But you want to talk to the mic. You want to
wanna
not talk to it, but like
Eat
right
the
by it.
microphone?
Yeah.
Some
No, not no.
ASMR.
Do not
No.
ASMR. No.
You're too close. You're too
No.
close. That's too loud.
What is your deal? Did you get into my gummies?
Yeah. No, I'm on like a ton of steroids,
Mom.
dude. Yes.
Can you make that go away?
The side angle. He needs the side
Appreciate it.
profile.
I know. I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to get him some ladies. Got to get
Yeah.
that side profile.
Ladies love a good
oh,
face
he looks
card.
like Kermit the Frog. Oh,
I
that
mean,
is
there's some
not
girls out there
attractive.
some-
Kermit
down
the
for
Frog
some
is
Kermit
so
action?
much better looking than you are. And I'm sure there are some girls with a Kermit fetish.
Wow.
That's gotta be a
That
thing.
is one heck of a big sis right there.
Kermit the Frog is so much better looking than you are.
Yeah, that's going to turn into a
Kermit the
YouTube short.
Frog.
Kermit the Frog.
It's
is
me.
so
I'm
much
the
better.
one with the...
Why are you so mean, though?
I'm just kidding. I think my little brother's great. I think all my siblings
I
are great.
disagree.
I would jump
I
in
am
front of a
uglier than Kermit
moving
the Frog.
Shut up. Don't talk about my brother like that.
How fast is the truck moving?
I'm so.
I was gonna say
ugly.
train, but I think the max I could take from a car would be. I think I could withstand like 40 miles per hour.
I mean,
You would be
you're about the size of that girl that got hit while I was going, like middle school. And she got clocked at like 65.
Yeah, you know that like
She
one
survived.
question that like they ask men what kind of like wild animal they think they could take on like in a fight.
Why in the heck would you? Who asked that question?
It's like to see how to see how like tough they think they are, or like if you look it up, there are some men who are like, yeah, I could take a gorilla in a fight, and it's like,
Well,
no, that's what
no,
I feel like I was
no,
channeling
like,
with the I could
Yeah.
take
Ask
40
me what
miles per
animal.
hour.
Like,
What
I'm
wild
willing.
animal
I
could you
could,
take in a
I
fight?
could tie up with any wild animal, but I could get my ass handed to me by a bunch of them also.
But
Well,
it's like
what's the
no, it's like
arsenal?
no fight, no
Yeah, that-
weapons,
okay,
nothing.
no
No, you're
weapons?
going in it. You're mano a mano.
Nothing.
Do I get like a log or something?
No.
It's like there was a Marine
I
that
mean,
beat a bear to death with a.
You
Like,
could probably use like the
firewood.
stuff that was in your surroundings, but it's like, what wild animal do you think, pound for pound, strength for strength, like you're going band for band? What wild animal could you take on?
a panda.
It's just
That lazy bastard would just lay there and take it. He'd be all like, "I don't know what to do," and then I'd eat that son of a
Oh.
gun.
he
That
says, I can
delicious
take a
looking panda.
newborn kitten. You know the ones who haven't like opened their eyes yet.
Yeah.
I could
With your
fight one
car?
of those. Yeah.
Yeah, you could sacrifice.
Give
a
me
couple
a
of them to save
shovel,
family
I got
member.
'em.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but like, why? Like, I've known some bad dudes, but like, what's the biggest animal someone said I could take on?
I feel
Like,
like
there's got to be
I
some
feel
retard
like
like,
there
I'm taking
was-
an elephant on.
I
No,
feel
you
like
can't.
there was some men who were actually like genuinely serious. They were like, I think I could take a gorilla.
Now there was a dude in Kazakhstan that woke up with a bear in his apartment, and like it startled him, so he choked the bastard.
Well, like yeah, but those are like animals. That's like, oh, they're more scared of you than you are of them if you're loud.
Anybody
coyote.
that thinks they could take a gorilla without some sort of weaponry, Wow.
That's really the ASMR.
Yeah, that's the
Does her mic not mute?
yeah. You're green. Just cut yourself all the way down.
Y'all
Oh
are so
Dude,
man.
that
mean to
makes
her.
it so much more quiet.
No, we're not mean to her.
Let
She's
her
the
do her
producer.
ASMR.
She's the
She's trying to launch
producer.
a career.
Do you
Do you know
realize
how much ASMR creators make?
I could make some heck out of some ASMR?
Especially if you're making some
It'd
of
be
the
like,
weird people
You're,
ASMR.
no, I'm gonna make like your day as a mechanic's going bad, and all you hear is a bunch of banging and cussing and
Like
yeah.
ASMR bloopers. There are people who will like make ASMR videos and then in the middle they'll just like hit some pants or something.
Beat the piss out of everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not mean to her. She
I
stayed
don't-
with me. Like we will be married for 22 years come Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you're not mean to her. That just means she's yeah, she's just
I
taking
think
it.
y'all are all soft.
It's like me, like my ex-boyfriends, they never said I wasn't mean to them. They just put up with it. Like I was mean.
No,
I'm mean.
no, but your mama's a sweetheart.
y'all are just soft.
Yeah, so why are you mean to my poor precious mother?
Okay, listen. Don't make me.
So rude.
Why is she over giggling? She's
Because
like, yeah,
I'm
22 years
hilarious.
down the drain.
I'm the
All it took was
funniest
one
child you
podcast
had.
with the children. We're gonna have a roast mama session. Oh,
We
I'm
don't
sorry.
have
Yeah,
those.
that's
They
not
make her
allowed.
cry.
There's only roast daddy sessions.
Only roast dad sessions.
Yeah, and for anybody listening, like if you're a father, what you should always
You
keep
suck.
in mind is no,
Yeah, I
no,
agree.
you should not keep in mind that you suck.
Yeah.
But what you should do at least once a month is sit in the living room and let all your wife, or not all your wives. I mean, if you got multiple
All your wives.
yeah, if you have more than
Channel
one
that
wife,
Mormon energy.
bring them all. But like all your children, sit down, and then like legitimately let them just sit there and tell you everything you've been screwing up their entire lives.
Yeah, and then take none of the advice and keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
What?
The goal is to get really butthurt too. You have to be like, so I guess I'm just the problem now.
When your
But
whole
then
family looks
don't
at you
change
and they're
at
like,
all.
"You got to change something, or you got to go." It's like, oh,
We
I
never
guess I'm the
said you
problem.
have to go. We just said, hey, you got to change something, man. Well, we didn't say man.
Have I changed?
Yeah, I'd say
A
so.
little bit.
I think
I'd say
Malachi
you've
needs
changed
to
a
be
lot.
beat with soap and a sock.
You haven't
a little
changed
bit.
like that, but you've changed a lot.
A
Like,
little
especially
bit.
from when, like, I was a
Kind of like
teenager.
ish.
Oh well, I mean, yeah.
Especially when I was, like, a little kid. Like,
I've been
No
mentally
offe-
unstable most of my life.
no offense to you, but you were kind of an absent father when I was, like, really little.
I worked.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
12,
saying.
16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't remember you much
The
in my
first year
childhood.
of your life, I was off 2 days.
Yeah.
While you were being born.
I remember one time I woke up and it was my birthday. And I was like, you know, just toddling around. It was probably like 6th or 7th birthday. Like, I just barely remember it. But I remember being like, kind of just feeling like it was a normal day. And then I went and I like looked outside and I was like, Mom, why is Dad's truck still here? And she was like, oh, Tess, he took the day off and like he's going to spend your birthday with you. And you were in your room sleeping and I got to like go in there and like wake you up and you were like, hey, happy birthday. And I remember like that being like
Crazy.
a crazy, like good birthday memory for me. So,
Wow.
so like that should tell you how
Good thing
little
we cut
you
her
were
mic
there.
off. She's gonna be crying over there in a minute.
Like, okay.
Like I tried to,
I
like,
could never think of a time Dad taking off for my birthday. Like Dad.
That's not true.
Well,
Well, like Dad used to take off, and we would go to Chuck E. Cheese for your birthday. And
You've
Papa,
got to keep
Yeah.
beating
not
that
take
mic up.
off.
I'm sorry, I need my cough drops or else it'll just be 40
Mama,
minutes of me
I'm
coughing.
gonna-
We just went on a Saturday.
I don't care if we have it or not. I'm gonna spend the money and just order another good mic or two over the next week or two. Because that's gonna make me go crazy.
Well, if Tess could sit still, Dylan does fine. He doesn't
Well,
even move.
here's
like
the
When's
thing.
the last time a
because of-
child sat still? She come out moving. She beat the
I probably
out
should
of your
have taken
mama.
my Adderall before we did this.
Your
That's
mama would
probably
lay
actually
down
what
at
it
night
is.
and Tess would be going like in her belly.
I've been moving since I was
One
born.
of my favorite stories of Tessie, okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Is when you were a little squirt and right after you watched Allie be born.
Oh.
And we would be running around in like Walmart or whatever. And anytime she seen somebody that would compliment on her little sister, and Tessie would be like, yeah, she come out mama's booty. And it's like, you know,
She did.
to a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old watching
And she's
a baby
been channeling
be born.
that energy ever since she was born.
Now, see, she won't come on the pot. She's, you know, like, my two youngest daughters are like we're not going to come on the podcast unless you get famous. And it's like, well, Daddy's not going to get famous because no one wants to listen to him. So guess you're not going to be podcasting.
Not going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, and then Malachi's over there like, watch this. I want to text Dylan and tell him he's got to get here because
Not
it
texting.
sucks.
He actually did say that.
I did say that in the house earlier. Like,
And
who
so,
would watch a
like-
podcast with a woman in it?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so-
anybody watching this podcast with a woman in it, like if you look like Eddie Munson, have a heart of gold, and like skin thick as tank
You don't
armor,
have to have a heart of gold.
but you do have to have skin thick as
You
tank
do
armor.
have to look like Eddie Munson.
Yeah, if you've got like all those vibes going, like drop me a like and a subscribe.
You don't exist. Let
You-
me just.
Like
You are Eddie Munson.
You don't exist.
If you're Eddie Munson, hit me up.
So you want to like cross dimensions? You're gonna full
Yeah.
on Deadpool it?
Yeah. If you
Just
are
drag his tail
that
down
dead 18, I think he's like 20
What
or
is
something,
that?
20-year-old man.
What?
Why is there a giant hole in the wall?
I was seeing if that wire was in conduit or not.
I thought you were
cut
gonna
a
say you kicked
big
it,
hole in
so-
the wall.
Yes, I cut a hole in the wall. That's the only way to get into it. With a Zawzall.
What was your goal? Like, why
To
does it
get
look like
down
that?
there and find out where the wire was coming through. What? No, I did not try to make a cat with the
Like a
Zawzall. I was just
rose
trying to
or
get the hole. Okay, what they're fussing about is I cut a hole in my shop wall so that I could feel the wire that is for my internet, so that I'm trying to get faster internet in the shop. If it's in conduit or if it was run underground, and it's run underground, so I'm going to have to do it with a wireless bridge.
So now we just have a hole in the wall
I will cover it up with something. Dadgummit,
with
look at
some
my shop.
foam.
Like
Like
Mama,
we did
can,
over
can
there.
What is
show,
it?
Show
that's-
the background you got queued up right now. All right, for people watching, when you have a shop and you have kids and you're a very
My name is up there
absent
on the
father,
shop wall.
I guess. But no, I'm not an absent father.
I'm
because-
not saying you are. I'm saying you were.
But
No, I just feel like
like, you see all the
I
graffiti
think so.
on my shop door? That's because
Yeah.
they were spray painting
Yeah.
things for me, and I left for 5 minutes, and I come back.
And we spray painted
did
them.
all
And like
that,
for a long,
yeah,
we had to
that's-
cover
Yeah.
up quite a bit of it because I don't like. One of you tried to draw something and it just looked like a big penis.
It was Malachi.
I tried to draw myself.
Yeah, Malachi tried to do a
self-portrait.
self-portrait and it looked like a big dick. And it's like, oh, good
I
job,
didn't-
son.
He's the only
And
one that
that,
thought
and there's
that.
a little smiley face that's nose also kind of looks like a dick.
Quit
but you
drawing
didn't
dicks
cover
everywhere,
you didn't cover that one up.
I covered those up.
My name is up there. Well, TES is.
Yeah, I need to get the sprayer out, like respray it all.
No, it's personality.
We're
When
gonna-
I become famous one day, you can sell that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, every time I finish a drink, I hand it to like one of my friends. I'm like,
I had someone
"Keep
do that to me at a 4-H
I'm like,
event.
look, keep that. When I'm famous, you can sell it for.
I do
like
that with my
50
old
grand."
underwear.
He handed me a like crushed up water bottle, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this at you. And he said, no, keep it forever. And I said, I won't do that. I'm going to throw it away immediately. And he said, no, remember me by it. And I said, no. And I threw it away.
You're not supposed to remember everybody. I'm driving down the road one time with my buddy Steve.
Although, just for the record, Tess does remember him.
Yeah, yeah, by that water bottle. But anyways, driving down the road with my buddy Steve.
I don't remember him because of the water bottle, though. I remember him because of a different interaction we had
Oh, uh-huh.
that we had before the water bottle.
And he looks over and he sees a woman in a T-shirt of the company we worked for, and he was like, "Oh, she must work with us." But I don't recognize her face. Like I don't know who she is, and I'm like, "That's because you forget ugly real quick."
That's so mean. I actually think you remember ugly. Like blobfish, that image
Okay,
is permanently
no,
implanted in
there's
my brain.
like there's the mediocre ugly,
And then there's me.
and then then there's
And then
the,
there's us.
then there's the
just-
train
No,
wreck.
Just
no,
over here.
I said me.
Well, I want to be included.
No.
Like if you see a car that's not appealing to you and it's kind of ugly, you don't say nothing. But if you see the ugliest MFer you've ever seen in your life,
I don't say much about cars, actually.
I say a lot when I see a
yellow car?
No, when you see a guy who like in this car and it's like
The only time
that
I
guy
insult
has a
people's
small penis because his truck
because that truck is
his
huge,
truck is like a
lifted.
12-inch lift kit, and then he's got tires.
Bro's
this
5'6"
his rims,
max.
his
He
rims
has to pull out a step
this.
stool to get into the truck.
5'6" max.
Yes.
That's so tall.
5'6" is so tall. I'm 5'5", and you call me short
Oh,
regularly.
you said 5'6".
You're a midget.
I did not say 6'6".
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I said
So what's the average height for a woman?
5'4".
5'4"? Oh, yeah, but you're still the midget of our family.
No, Kiri's still shorter than me.
Kiri is younger than you.
It doesn't matter. So is he. So is Allie. They're both taller than
Malachi's
me.
like 6'2".
I'm 6 foot.
He's 6 foot even, Dad.
Oh, he's
which
6
means
foot.
He's
Ooh.
5'11".
No, he's 6 foot. I'm 6'3". I mean, Mama's
Listen.
Dad's like that guy
like
who's
Amazonian
I've got the
goddess over
short
there.
keys.
So
Dad's like that guy who's like, well, you can't technically be 5'11", so you might as well be 6 foot.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you can't be 6 foot, so you might as well be 6'7".
6'3". I mean, like,
it's like,
what the heck?
and if I'm wearing shoes, then I'm already 6'5". So like, go ahead and just round that puppy up to 6'5". So.
Yeah, but like guys like
Which is me. I
like
wear
short, pale
platforms
women.
all the
Why
time.
why do all women want to be tall?
I want to be tall
Most
because
guys
all
are
my
short.
family is tall.
Yeah, but like most men are short.
Yeah, and if I'm taller than you, I can make you feel inferior to me.
no,
Yeah, but that's not the purpose.
all the guys
The
are
purpose
short,
of having
I
a
think.
man test is this is why I said, skin thick as tank armor. The purpose of having a man is not to make him feel inferior and belittle him. It's to make him your king and make him like
No.
build him up.
No.
No, I think it's
That
like,
sounds like a
no,
terrible
I've
experience.
noticed I go to places and I'm like, why are
Why
men
are you
so
Eating the
short?
microphone?
I'm not eating the microphone. I'm just
It's
resting my hand
because-
here.
it's
People are so short.
Because you're 6
People
foot.
are short.
And that's
like, I'm
actually
taller than a
pretty-
lot of
What's the
people. and
average
I'm
height
short.
for a man?
5'9" was the last time we checked. Because,
5'9".
yeah, Angel. Whenever men are like, I'm tall, I'm like 5'9", I'll be like, bro, my sister is 5'9". You're not tall.
Yeah, well, Angel's another Amazonian goddess.
Yeah,
of-
I
Angel's
just
amazing.
literally make fun of
Love her so
everybody
much.
who's shorter than me.
See, like your
Yeah.
mama.
Malachi sends me reels and he'll be like, imagine how
You realize I
sister
sent that
that's taller than you.
to all my siblings, and then
I-
I also sent the one that's like, send this to people who have no chance of getting taller to you. I can send that to like all my friends because they're all like 5'2" and a half.
Yeah, but that's the average. Like most people are short.
That sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah.
When I was younger, like the only family that ever guessed my age correctly by my height and size was an immigrant family from Germany that I was hanging out with, and I think it was over at Mama's because Mama's like, guess how old he is, because how Mama is,
Yeah.
and they're like, 13, and she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's the average size.
She was like, insult him, call him an orphan,
but they're
call him an orphan.
oh my goodness. You want to tell the little orphan
Talk about
Andrew
how ugly
story?
he is.
I think we've told that story.
It's like, just be mean to him. I hate him.
Good
Okay,
Lord.
you're not the only one, Mama.
No, she's not mean to me most time. She's pretty chill. But
I
yeah.
think you.
I don't think she's intentionally mean.
I think the reason Dad doesn't like Mama is because he's so much like her.
He is a lot like her.
I don't not like Mama.
He just
He
doesn't
just
like how much
complains
she
about her
talks.
all the time.
Yeah, she does talk a lot.
But, like,
You're
the thing
you're
But the
literally
thing is,
her.
like, if you put two yappers in a room together, they're not gonna like each other because they can't get a word in edgewise. Like me, if I'm comfortable with you, I'm a yapper. If I'm not comfortable with you, I'm gonna be quiet. So like a lot of
I
people
just
think
don't
I'm quiet.
care.
Yeah, but see, when we yap back and forth, me and you are having conversations that are together.
Yeah, but like
When you're with someone who just yaps and you're in the middle of answering the question they have asked you,
exactly,
and they
that's
just
what we're
start
saying.
talking about something else.
That's what we're saying. Mama is that to you. She's like your kryptonite. Like her form of conversation having, you can't keep up with it.
No, it's because it's not a form of conversation having.
It is. It is. I've met people that are like Mama. They like have conversations like that. It's called severe ADHD.
Your mama has ADHD.
No, like Mama has ADHD. Mama has ADD.
Yeah, true. She's not
She
hyper
doesn't
at
have
all.
that H.
No, she's got some laser focus though. It's hilarious.
I don't even know what ADDHAB whatever.
Attention
It's all retarded.
Deficit.
If you get told you have it, you're gonna act like you have it, and you're gonna start shifting
Well,
to
no,
what the
because
doctors
but
say.
here's the thing. Most people act like they have it before they get. They
Yeah.
have to act like they have it
Yeah,
to
the-
get diagnosed.
It's retarded.
Okay, when I talk to the social psychologist and the psychoanalyst for the military people when I was hanging out with that person in Florida, like her explaining some of my psychosis and stuff, and like telling me like, hey, look this up. and look up ways to teach yourself to combat that nature. Like knowing that there's reasons and logic behind my actions allowed me to like start changing them.
Yeah.
So like if you don't know, like your mama's changed so much and improved so much, but like that's because she finally got to the point where she was ready to say, "Hey, I do have a problem. That does not make me terrible. There's nothing wrong with me, but it's okay to admit that I have things I need to work on."
Well, like, yeah, but that's hard. Like, I was like 12, 13 years old at like 14, 15. Well, how old was I when I started taking my anxiety medication? 15, 16?
Yeah, probably 15, 16.
Well, what? Oh, thank you, Malachi. You're a lifesaver. My nose piercing was about to look super bad.
I don't think anybody can see your nose piercing.
Probably not. I have a really cool nose piercing. Anyways, like, before that, I lived in like a constant state of anxiety. Like, I still live in a constant state of anxiety, but it's like, but it's more controllable. But like, for real, like anything and everything, like I was anxious about it. It didn't, like, it could be, I could feel that like my right toe was itchy and like I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like, you know?
See, I'm about to get canceled. Anxiety's fake. Get over it. You're a wimp. Stop being a baby. It's retarded. Stop being anxious. It's
No,
literally you can be. There's things to be anxious about, but when
Well,
you're
like,
so anxious
the
it
thing is,
controls
like-
you, just shut your brain off.
your
But the
anxiety
point-
comes
Stop it.
mostly from your hyperactive brain, though.
The thing is, like, it's not necessarily like,
It's a physiological
know it's
response to
stupid.
your brain overrunning.
like I know it's stupid.
Yeah.
I know that what I'm worrying about probably shouldn't be worried about, but I'm gonna
You
work.
can't stop
Like, I
your brain
can't
from doing
stop
it. Yeah,
it.
you focus on it.
Like,
But
I recognize that it's stupid.
see, I did
but
that with
it's just like it's.
I did that
happening.
with anger for years.
Yeah.
Like that's how like I used anger to fuel everything. Like I would use anger to dump adrenaline, which pushed myself through my pain, but then also
I
allowed me
use
to shut off
fear
all my
to
emotions.
Dump adrenaline. I'll be like, man, this looks really scary, and then I'll just do it anyways.
I do none of that.
Yeah,
Y'all
because
are
you're a wimp.
retarded.
You're a baby.
You know what? Be happy you got blessed with not being a sociopath.
I don't even
Well,
know
we don't know that I'm a sociopath.
what,
Let's
like-
not throw those allegations.
what's okay.
out
See,
there.
but
I
it's
had
weird.
caught you plotting murders your entire
Okay.
I
life.
have
No,
not been plotting.
I used to come in there and you'd be hanging your Barbie dolls. You
Okay,
didn't,
we
she
all
didn't-
did that.
Okay, yeah, but my
We
children
all
didn't
did
play Barbie dolls. You didn't go in there and they're like playing store and doing this. You'd go in there and they'd be setting up a gallows and they're having one of them on trial and throwing them off the edge.
No. What we would do is we would tie them to the ceiling fan
And turn the ceiling fan
and
on.
then turn the ceiling fan on and just watch them
And
go.
then whoever
Sometimes-
lost.
No,
lost.
I come in there one time
Sometimes
and
we
you
would
guys
also stick
literally
stuffed
had a little
animals.
noose tied, and you had one of them standing on the edge and a bunch of them standing around. and
That
I
was
come
probably
in
Kiri.
as y'all are going, okay, die, and it's like,
And
what the?
we used to, sometimes we wouldn't even get string. We would just put our stuffed animals on top of the fan, and we would turn the fan on, and whoever lasted the longest, that was the winner.
Needless to say, all the ceiling fans in my house are like the walk on ceiling fans.
Because we hung stuff from them.
And also, it was probably our fault too, because when they were little, like when the fifth kid was born, we got what is our master bedroom, like 20 by 20? Like our master bedroom's friggin' huge.
Yeah.
And so like we took and set up bunk beds, and so you got 5 kids, and we put them in the big 20 by 20 room, which gave them plenty of room to sleep and play, but it also gave them a lot of time together, and they were all homeschooled, so like they're there a lot,
We spent
and so
all the time together.
yeah, they spent a lot of time together, and like when you have
Every
that
other
cohesion,
times.
it's kind of like the Tower of Babel. You know, God looked down and He's like, if these people all speak one language and are together, there's nothing they can't accomplish. So like, if you got a bunch of kids that are really close and they spend a lot of time together, and you leave them unsupervised for 30 seconds, they're going to jump out the window and try to run away.
What?
Well, yeah.
Well, no,
okay,
because when
here's
we
the
were
thing.
in the big room,
I only snuck out of the window whenever our aunts locked us in
that
there.
was at Nan's though.
No, that was at our house because
When
they
we
used to
were
come
in the big room, I still slept in like a freaking like
Malachi was still in like a toddler bed.
it was a
Yeah.
toddler bed. One thing I remember is I threw up all over my bed, and you worked night shift, and you came and got me, and then you just put me on the couch and you said, "Look at the couch because you can't watch the show I'm watching," and go back to sleep.
What?
He was watching
So
Futurama.
I
But
cleaned him up. I changed him, I cleaned his bed up.
I don't know if you cleaned my bed. I don't remember all that, but like we only snuck out whenever, because Tess and Angel could watch shows we couldn't, so they just made us nap all day.
No, mom was there. Mom was an at-home parent whenever that was happening. And what she would do is here's Angel was really the mastermind behind this, I'm pretty sure. She would have
Yeah, we're
the
discovering
three
that
littles.
Angel is actually an evil genius.
I love her so much. She was totally plotting some stuff. Mom would have the three littles take naps because they were still like little kids. So they would have to take a nap. And then me and Angel would get to stay up because I've never slept. Mom knew that was not happening. She was like, this kid is not taking a nap. She just doesn't do that. So I would get to watch an episode of like my show that the little kids couldn't watch. And then I would have to go clean while Angel watched her show. That I could watch the show. They would just have me clean. The Angel would be like, go do the dishes, Tess. And then I just have to do it because everybody listened to
Okay.
Angel.
I do not even.
It literally did.
Angel, that's why I always called her my warden, is because the child has always been a natural, like,
Yeah, but like
organizer and leader.
me and Angel didn't have that type of relationship. Like we don't have that type of relationship. Like I was the only one that could challenge her, but also still be scared of her and
Tess
listen to
was
her.
the only one that didn't get waken up at 8 to clean because Tess got to sleep
'Cause I was
because
annoying.
Angel didn't want to deal with her.
The only difference between you and Angel is Angel, like, if I said, you know, like when you guys would come up and that, well, they won't listen to me. I'm like, well, have you hit them? You know, Angel would be like, yes. And I'd be like, okay, let me go hit them again for
If
you.
I would hit Curie, she would whine to Mom, and then I would get
Well,
in
like
trouble.
here's the thing. That's also like I think that the relationship is different. Like me and Allie versus me and Malachi. Me and Angel versus Angel
Okay,
and
but
Allie.
it doesn't matter
Like,
because Kyrie's the only one under the name.
Yes, exactly. So like that directly younger sibling, it's just different.
But she
like,
still has to listen
Yeah,
to
but
me
see,
because I'm
It's
the
just
only
different.
one home half
You don't
the time.
understand what's coming because you're the only guy. And
But I'm
I've
the only
raised-
one home.
Yeah, you're going to wind up being the patriarch of the whole family. You'll have to take care of all your sisters, your mama,
you won't
everybody.
have to take care of us.
I'm-
We're fine.
Yes, you will. They have no clue how much they will require your services, your mental and emotional support, your help.
Get married?
Here's the thing, though.
It
So I
doesn't
think my
matter.
brother is amazing. Yes, and I will like, if I ever need his help, will I ask for it? However, I think there's a lot of stuff that I can do without his help. One, because you think Malachi's actually going to help us?
Mhm.
No, I'll tell you right now.
I've
Unless
said it
I
100
say,
times before.
"Malachi,
You
here's
girls
50
have
bucks."
no clue. Like he's mean to you and he acts nonchalant, but you have no clue the love a brother has for his sisters. Like he
Hey,
will
wait,
make
wait,
sure
wait,
you're
wait.
taken
But,
care
like-
I can actually read something right now.
But like, also
Shh. I'm talking now.
to you two,
Nope, I'm talking now.
rude.
of. Oh,
We're waiting.
oh gosh, this is like.
Okay. This is like a note from a doctor. Today I operated on a little girl. She needed O blood. We didn't have any, but her twin brother has O blood. I explained to him that I was. There's a stupid sign in the way. I was a.
Do you need me to read it?
No, this is my screen.
I know.
What's under that little Instagram thing? What does that say?
That it was a matter of life and death.
Oh. I could not see that. Of
It
life
is.
and
It's
death.
covered up by a little Instagram sign.
He sat quietly for a moment and then said goodbye to his parents. I didn't think anything of it until after we took his blood. And he asked, "So when will I die?" He thought he was
Oh,
giving
that's
his
so
life. He thought he was giving his life for her. Thankfully, they both will be fine.
There's a
A man can sacrifice himself when it comes to family. Is the
But
button.
again,
Hey, a
I
little-
would totally do that for any
little
of my
little
siblings.
10-year-old boy, plane wreck or something here recently. I was reading about. I can't remember where it was at. I'll try to find the article, but he blocked his sister from plane debris, like a plane crash debris.
Was he an older sibling?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that is a specifically male trait. I think that is a sibling bond. As a person who has siblings, like you only know the male perspective because you're only looking at it as oh, I have a sister. Like because your brothers were stepbrothers. So like you weren't raised together. I'm not saying that step siblings are not family. Please don't cancel me. But I'm saying like that
Yeah.
relationship.
Talk to your microphone.
I am talking to my microphone. It's up here.
Okay.
But anyways, like I think that bond is just a sibling bond. Like I would genuinely do
No,
unspeakable
I
things
think
for
I
my
agree with that
siblings.
Instagram I realized sent you that the person was talking about how an older sibling has less like gentleness for a young than a younger sibling does for their older sibling.
What do you mean?
I sent the video to you, didn't I? I sent it to you,
Like
and
I'm mean
you
to
said
them.
you said all Bubba or Bubby or whatever
I did because it was like it.
because younger siblings are basically better. So that
I
makes me
think
the best.
I am a younger sibling. You
But
know that,
only
right?
once.
Yeah, but
But
you're
you don't
not the
understand.
youngest sibling.
But
So like
Kiri doesn't really count because she's not a boy.
I'm talking now.
That's the problem. You're not a main podcaster, so it doesn't matter.
I'm
Okay.
better
And
than
you're a
the main
woman, so.
podcaster.
Yeah, but let me put it into perspective for you. I'm the youngest male, and then like I had an older sister. My father is the oldest of, or was the oldest of 5, right? No, 4. He was the oldest of 4. He had 3 little sisters.
Mhm.
Even though, like, they didn't always get along and everything. Like, if any one of them, even the ones like that didn't talk to him for years, like, if they would have called him and needed something, up and he would have went.
Exactly, but I'm the same way with my siblings. My sister literally will sometimes text me or call me and be like, "Hey, do you want to come pick me up from Asa's just so that I can drive your car back home?" And I will be like, "Sure." Or she'll say, "Hey, can I take your car to go on a Valentine's date with
Your
Asa?" And I will say,
car.
"Of
Your
course."
car.
Whatever. Because even if she
None
doesn't
of
love
you are
me,
touching
she
my
loves my
vehicle.
car. Anyways,
If you are touching my vehicle,
like
I'll
Kiri
drive you.
can tell me, oh, come home and braid my hair for jujitsu. And I literally would. Because if I wasn't working, which I wasn't because pneumonia.
I'm not saying, I'm saying that, yes, they both, like, it is a sibling thing. But there is something about a brother, like it's a natural
It's not a.
protective. It's
What are
a,
you calling a sibling
Okay,
thing?
as the oldest sibling of 5 children, I would absolutely die for any of my siblings. My little brother is the only one I think might reciprocate. So I think you're
Well,
both right.
that's just personally because
Like-
Caleb's built different. Like I don't think
Caleb would die for a random bug on the sidewalk.
Caleb's awesome.
Caleb's great. We love Caleb. But like what I'm saying is I think it's also the way that siblings are raised together cuz like us it was us against the world. Like we were all we had sometimes. So like it was really like
We were all we had all the time.
we're trauma bonded.
What do you mean?
Trauma bonded.
We're
had to
Because they
trauma
were
bonded.
raised by us. Yeah.
No, it's like
Because I know you don't want to hear this, Mom, but you can overreact 100% of the time.
But, like-
No, not your
And
mama.
then when Mom overreacts, and then Dad gets
But, like-
off, and Dad comes home and doesn't even
But
want to
also, like,
talk,
here's the thing.
instant line up.
you guys just going in your room and locking yourselves in your room is a regular occurrence for us. So like it was sometimes literally just us. Like you for real all our life have been like, "Oh, mom is mine."
Yeah.
So like
Oh, your mom's
She is
home.
mine.
You
So,
can't.
like-
You can't see your
so
mom.
like if I come home over the weekends, it's always Tasia, come spend time with me. I'm like, I literally want to see my mom.
I have made a concerted effort. You can even ask her. I have spent a lot of time telling her and encouraging her recently to spend more time with you guys and to allow her to spend more time with you guys.
Okay.
But what you don't understand is my goal our entire marriage has been to, when my kids are grown, still have a relationship with my wife.
Yeah, but
And
like
you
I
have
think,
to let
I
them
think,
have
I
a
But Mom
think
was
most
like-
people
with
put
their
it backwards
kids,
though.
too.
But mom was like, "Where was I? Where was I?" Sometimes y'all literally just locked yourselves in your room and you would be in there. You'd be like talking or whatever. And it would just be like us and we'd be outside playing. Like Angel was never like a second mom to me because like our relationship just wasn't like that. But like she really was for like the younger kids.
Yeah.
Like especially Kiri. Like and she is perfect. She's an angel. We love her so much. I would like do anything for her. But like it's different, especially with because I've met some siblings who hate each other. And
Yeah.
like we hate each other, but we hate each other and we love each other.
No, look, the One thing about Angel, she's the only one I get mad when she asks me to do stuff because she's the only one I know can actually do it. Like, can you air up my tires? No. I know you can cut on a compressor. I know you can do all of it because you worked just as hard as I did growing up. I know you can do it. Why in the world would I do it? And then they say crap like, oh, because you're the brother, but
Yeah.
we're sexist piece of crap and we don't care about men.
We're not sexist.
What?
You're not sexist.
No.
You are probably
You're a
my only
feminist.
actual sexist child.
Not sexist, feminist.
Fight the power.
Don't stick your fist up, you little pale-skinned Morgan. You.
Listen, if you can't fight the man, what can you fight?
Equal rights, equal fight.
Your own stupidity
think.
in the mirror. Like
who
what
who
man?
agrees?
Why are you fighting?
The man. There's
There
this
is
car,
no
and
man.
it runs on water, man. There's always a man.
Okay, now I
The whole
was.
system's corrupt.
I have met a
Yeah.
guy that probably knew the guy. Like when I was coming home from your aunt's bachelorette party, went to the gas station.
You went to Faith's bachelorette party?
Yeah, it was a bachelorette party. They had a
It was
dual party.
combined.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was a
It
hockey
was-
game. It was
Okay.
really
We went to a
cool.
hockey game in Nashville, and I'm like
Yeah, that sounds very Chad.
3 cases in, and I forgot that I had already taken my muscle relaxer. So like I'm done.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to give your mama directions out of Nashville. It's not working too well. So anyways, we pull over to the gas station. It's what, 12 o'clock at night, you know? And I go in there and I'm like, hey. And the guy's like, hey. And I'm like, could you tell me where I'm at? And this is as soon as he answered, I'm like, oh crap, I'm in trouble. He goes, you're right there, man. And I was like, oh God. I was like, no, like, where are we at? And he was like,
Earth, man.
no, he was like, we're right here, man. And I'm like, no, say I was to look at a map and I was to point on that map where we are at.
Just
Like,
Leo from that time.
I said, what would be the name by it? He goes, you're in Nolensville, bro. Everybody knows that. And I'm like, okay. I'm trying to get back to Shelbyville. And he goes, Shelbyville. And I'm like, can you get me to 41A? And he was like, oh, 41. Yeah, man. And so he gives me directions, and I'm going to only tell the direction story once because I get back in the car, and your mama goes, did you find out where to go? And I'm like, yeah. And then I told her the directions exactly like he told me just to see her reaction. And I'm like, all right, we're going to get out of here. I said, we're going to go down the road here this way. And I said, then we're going to get to a red light. And when we get to that red light, we're not going to do anything but go straight. We're not going to turn. This is not where we're turning. You're going to keep going. Then you're going to get to the next red light. And this red light, you're going to turn. And like, he just lays it all out. And your mama's just looking at me like I'm crazy. But I tell you what, we followed that crazy dude's directions and we got back. And then I got called into work. And like, the only time I ever went into work, like probably way more messed up than I should have been. But,
Yeah.
you know, they made me come in.
Rude.
It was rude. I put
My
in
work sends me
vacation.
home.
Don't do drugs.
I put in vacation 6 months in advance. And they called me in.
Yeah,
Don't
my
do
work
drugs,
sends me
kid.
home. I'm like,
If you
I
come
have-
if you come in like wasted, they send you home. That's
no,
good because you're
no,
a daycare worker.
I don't come in wasted. I don't go in wasted. No, earlier this week, whenever I was running a fever, I would go up to the front and tell them, and I'd be like, hey, I have a fever. Expecting them to just be like, oh, hey, here's some medicine. Or like, oh, hey, which I work around children. So technically it's like smart. Or just being like, oh, well, we'll see when we can get you out. But every time that I've gone up there, they've pretty much, or like, that's the first time I've ever been up there to be like, hey, something's wrong. Because I also felt terrible. And I was like, hey, I'm running 101 fever. Like,
You also have a bad habit of
don't
doing
feel
like
good.
me, which is just like you just shut the switch off. You just keep going, then all of a sudden your body's like, I'm not functioning.
Well, like, yeah,
anymore.
because I did that the week before, and I went in Monday, and I started running a fever by lunch, and then I got like to where I was going into my other classroom around 2, and I went to Heather, and I was like, hey, I'm running like 101 temperature, and I could barely talk, and I was like, I'm running 101 temperature, and she's like, okay, we'll figure it out, go home. And then the second day, she was like, hey, I have you off today, but I had woke up feeling fine. I felt great. I had a tiny little cough. And I was like, no, dude, I'm good. Like, I'll come in. I'm fine. I came in around lunch again, started running a fever.
That's because
Felt
you got to take time
terrible.
off.
Felt terrible. Went up and I was like, hey, so Jody, because Heather wasn't even up front. I was like, hey, Jody, you should probably bleep out these names. They probably don't want their names on the internet. But hey, boss lady, I'm running a fever again. And I was like, can I have a mask? And she was like, sure, you can have a mask,
She's like,
but
you
let
can
me see what I can.
GTFO.
She's like, let me see what I can do to get you to go home. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just take the mask for now. And then I went back into my classroom, and I was still like
And then
running
she
a
licked the
fever.
top of every sippy cup in that room.
No, all my kids were asleep. I started like sweeping because we had to like sweep and mop during that time. I was like running a fever, still sweeping and mopping. And she came back in and she was like, I don't have anyone to put in this room. She was like, can you please just stay till 2? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, whatever. But like, they were pretty nice about it
Why don't you get to nap during nap time?
because
No, don't give me excuses. It's nap time.
yeah, but like somebody's got to still watch them.
Okay, take shifts. 2 teachers, 1 naps, 1 watches, and then you swap.
Well, some rooms there has to be 2 teachers because like we have to stay within state ratios.
I just don't understand all the regulations.
I
Just
just
put a bunch of kids in a fenced-in yard. They'll be
don't
fine.
understand daycares. Watch your own kid.
Most parents.
Well, like they gotta work 2 jobs to stay afloat
yeah,
in this economy.
most time you have to work 2 jobs to get anywhere.
Just be rich.
In this economy?
Like me and your mother are like not rich by any means. We're broke, but
Same.
we've had a lot of help and a lot of very wise people that have like helped to guide us in like what like because we've always lived on 1 income, and like we've had to sacrifice a lot. Like you guys can attest to like we haven't always had the best. You know,
Oh yeah,
once
we're poor.
peanut butter and jelly in a bowl's been some
Yeah.
meals. You know, but like we wanted to make sure that. Even though I guess we did up a lot because that's what y'all tell us all the time, but like we wanted a parent at home with you guys. We wanted to show y'all that you were important.
I will say though, y'all did do a good job of one time my coworker was talking to me. I was like in the middle of changing a diaper. And she looks at me and she goes, so like, you know when CPS would just like come to your house? And I think she was starting to tell me like a relatable story. And I had to look at her and be like, bro, what? And she's like, you know, when CPS would just randomly like come to your house and launch an investigation. And I was like,
CPS?
like-
You're saying that wrong.
Child Protective Services.
It's CPS?
yes.
Child Protective
I don't
Services.
think it's CPS.
Anyways,
Nobody ever says
I had
that.
to look at her and be like, that is not a regular occurrence. Not CPS is just not randomly coming into people's houses.
Because like they call the parents and tell them they're coming. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like
Yeah. But like she was telling that story and I had to like look at her and be like, dude, that is not something that just happens. And her
That's the
sister
difference
works
between
there
some
too.
people. Yeah.
And
I
she
mean,
went to her sister and she told her that I said that and she was like, oh, for real? Like, yeah.
yeah. I mean, some of the guys I grew up with, like, to sit at a dinner table where the father didn't fire up a crack pipe.
Well,
And-
yeah,
and-
but that's
and-
because we
and-
live in Tennessee.
and try to pass it around the room. And like, you know, and then again, I've grown up, I've known some abused children that like when they find out in their, you know, adulthood, they look back and realize that they were abused
Why
because
are you
like
doing that into the mic, you nasty
the whole
person?
family was messed up. But yeah, there's a whole lot of like when you start really interacting with
excuse
people,
me.
Bro.
it's like I'm gonna
Take
try to
someone's
get this guy to
acid.
actually come on the podcast at one point and do like a bonus episode with me. But like I'm talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he's like, somebody made a reference to Mr. Gorbachev tearing down this wall. And he was like, "Oh, I was there." What? Yeah, I was like half a block away when the Berlin Wall fell down. Father was in the military. He's a kid, but he was telling me about like not really understanding what's going on, but watching it on TV and seeing, you know, like, and then looking out the window and seeing the crowds. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's a really cool point in history to just nonchalantly be like, "Oh, I was there."
Well, like, yeah, that's probably how people feel like recounting stories from like 9/11 and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, 2 towers fell. How do you not recall that?
Well, one of my
well,
old
we never
fire. Well,
forget.
the problem is you don't. I guess when you live certain things, it's just normal life to you. Like when my old fire chief was talking about being at 9/11 a lot of times during a lot of our training sessions, like when he was doing the fire academy with us and stuff. And we just assumed he was there, like, because this dude'd been like CIA, he'd worked for Homeland Security, EPA, like he'd done a lot of stuff. But like I just assumed, and all of us just assumed that like he was there helping with like rescue efforts, cleanup efforts. No, this was part of his, when he was working for the DHS. He was in the tunnels in between the two, transporting a prisoner when they got hit. Like he wasn't at 9/11, like at the scene. He was
he was like
there.
there.
And he just, nonchalantly, yeah, I was there, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because some people just, like I was saying earlier when you were calling me not a psychopath, there's a difference because, like, sometimes I just think, man, I really want to rip your throat out right now. That's psychopathic.
No, that's just normal human
No,
pathology.
because it doesn't, like,
Well, like I
They
think
think about it.
I think every human thinks about that. They definitely think, "Oh, I would definitely shoot you if I had a gun right now." But like
but
I
here's the
won't
problem.
because I probably shouldn't do that.
you,
Yeah, that's
It's-
logic.
Like there are some children that
I
I've
could
known,
definitely
not children
shoot
that
you.
I
Could
work
you, though?
around, but children that
you
I've known
pull-
in my
it's
life that
the
I'm like,
type of
I'd punt
person.
them if I could. Like I would punt them across a football field. Will I? No. But would I want to? Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you lose the ability to not act on impulses.
That's
It's
when you become like
no,
so psychopaths.
That's when you start
can't.
having a lot of trouble too.
Well, no, it's also just like how you look at things, because it's like I was saying, I could stab you right now, but could you? Could you mentally
Yeah, I
take
don't
it
think people
after
realize how much it,
after you put the knife in me? Could you mentally take that?
That's why most of the time, that's why like serial killers and sociopaths and psychopaths and like all that stuff. That's why all the true horror and crime and stuff has a lot of them type people, because most of your crimes of passion, most of your murders and stuff like that, a lot of times it's like it's the emotional state that cuts that logic off and allows you to do those actions.
Yeah.
But then you got people that literally they don't have that.
that's like the difference between like murderers and like serial killers.
Yeah.
Or like homicide or like great what is
Even
it?
even when you get to murders where like
First
the guy
degree, second degree,
murders
third
his
degree.
family because he thinks it's going to work out and he's going to be with this new woman, or like woman murders her husband, like those are still crimes of passion, even though they're like thought out, methodical. Those are an emotional. I've got to get out of this state. And a lot of like the serial killers and stuff, it's not a crimes of passion. A lot of times it's a crime of drive.
It's a
just
need. They have a
something they-
compulsive
Well,
need
that's
to
what I'm
kill
saying.
people.
Like
It's a
doing it.
drive.
It's that, like-
it's something that I have to do, and then
Well-
it becomes a
a
lot
lot
more
of them-
methodical thing.
Well,
It's
just
like-
being
Like me
able
with
to
sticky
It's
stuff.
they experience
being able to
it once.
handle it is just what people don't understand, like what it actually does to you to
You gotta have that frontal lobe
actually
damage.
kill somebody and watch them bleed out and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
It's like having
even like
that
people who talk
disconnect.
about seeing bodies and stuff. It just
Yeah, well, I mean that's just
Yeah.
like the
Well,
I've-
like there's also signs
known
in early
people-
childhood, and one of them is like cruelty towards animals. Like,
Shh, don't talk about that.
okay, well, I'm gonna talk about it because I find the homicidal triad actually pretty interesting.
the homicidal who
Triad.
Triad.
It's the dark triad.
It's
a dark triad of personalities that normally turn into
it's
either
personality.
CEOs or killers.
It's traits that like if children are experiencing all three of these traits, they've
what,
linked
like the wet the bed
experiencing
one. You
those.
always talk about that.
Yeah, wetting the bed, fire starting, and cruelty towards animals. Like they're more likely. They've linked those behaviors.
I'm gonna
to
start killing
children,
people,
like-
guys.
like Dahmer.
Okay,
Dahmer
but,
did that.
but hang on.
So,
the,
like-
the cruelty towards animals,
that
would that one count? Because like I love to eat things.
No, like not hunting. Like they would genuinely get them and like tear them. Like
Now, see, I like doing that
You know,
with
in
people.
the fourth season of Stranger Things, whenever they're talking about whenever Henry Krill is like practicing his magic on the little animals, and he's doing it on purpose because it hurts them, and he likes that it hurts them. That's
Yeah.
what it is. That it's like
Yeah, but see, like
getting a bunny rabbit and
See,
like
that's-
ripping its
that
legs off,
makes
or like
no
taking a
sense.
cricket.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
see, I did
ripping
that
its
with
legs off.
people.
Like
that's why like me and my buddy like we maced each other. We used to
Yeah,
beat
but,
the
like,
crap out of each other. Like I
you
used to
were
love
just-
watching them suffer.
well, that's concerning. But how old were you?
That's most of my life.
No, because there's a
You didn't
difference.
have stepbrothers until you were 14.
No, I'm talking about my buddies. There was 20, 30 people at my house every weekend.
Well, you said brothers, so.
No, my brothers and us were rough, but like all my but like we maced each other for fun. If you fell asleep, like we'd duct tape you up and throw you in the pool.
I think that's. Oh,
No.
Mom, please don't ever say that in my presence ever
No, because
again.
I
That was
like
disgusting.
me and
I-
the friends at church. We used to get like the long grass, and we just whacked the crap out of each other.
Yeah, we used to.
Well,
hit
I
each other
also
But
with
just think
tasers.
kids are
fun.
mean.
Guys like to hurt.
No,
Kids
but
are
I
mean,
I
bro.
genuinely I
Kids will say
genuinely
some
Okay,
stuff that
no,
enjoy
no,
being-
your
okay,
feelings.
stop. Boys are rough. We are mean. We are cruel. We establish a pecking order.
yeah. Hang on, but there's a
Girls are
difference.
vicious.
Because like I can
No,
go hit Dylan.
The other day,
You guys go for
And he's
blood.
I
not gonna
lost my
care.
voice at work, and I was talking to this one little kid. He was showing me this puzzle he did, and I was like, "That's such a great puzzle," but I couldn't talk. And he was going, "Yeah, I can't hear you." And I was like, "I can't talk right now. Like, it's a very good puzzle." And he's like, "You need to talk louder. I can't hear you." And I was like, "I can't talk. Good puzzle."
But see, I love how kids are honest though. Like,
Or I had one tell me I was having a really stressful day and it was just like all adding up, and so I was crying. And I had one little girl look at me and she said, "You need to put those back in your eyes. You need to wipe those off." And I was like,
you need to dust yourself off,
I was
girl.
like, let me work on that. She was like, "Stop."
It's like was it one of the aunts that asked Allie or said, doesn't she look like she's sleeping at a funeral? Like by the casket, and my daughter goes, "No, she looks like she's dead." But kids are awesome like that. Like
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
great. I
Well,
love
I
them.
thought that
They say
being
the
fat was
darndest
a
things
compliment.
sometimes.
So
oh, that's yeah. My Malachi over there thought when he thought, saying you're fat was a compliment
Oh yeah.
because we called him fathead.
Yeah.
And like the amount of women my wife has had to explain, no. Fat's a good thing. It's a compliment. That means you're awesome.
well, my dad was 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Like
I think
And you were a tiny little scrawny thing back then.
yeah, not anymore. What happened?
Your head's been the same size since you come out.
but like
What happened? Why did I become fat? What
Trust
happened?
me, son.
you're
One day
not
you'll
fat, bro.
one day
Shut
you'll hook
up.
one of those. They like to be warm.
Like, no, here's the problem. Like, where did they're like bean poles. Like,
Adderall.
They got
poles.
all that from your
It
anthrax.
is Adderall, bro. I was like,
Like,
20
it's
pounds
like-
heavier before I started taking Adderall.
straight bean poles.
I didn't take it to lose weight. It's not Ozempic. I took it to get my mental health in check. It just made me lose weight. The consequences were unintentional. People are just
Unintentional
now like, "Oh, Tess, you're so skinny. You were ginormous before." And it's like I was like 140 pounds
I
before,
wonder
and
if
now I'm like
there's-
120. And
I
they're
wonder
like,
if there's a teenager that's used that excuse before.
"What?"
Because you were like, I didn't want to lose weight. It's just
I
a
didn't know
consequence.
that I would.
I didn't want to get pregnant. It's just a consequence. Or like, I didn't want to have sex. I just wanted to get pregnant.
Well,
I just
that's-
had sex by accident. That's a consequence.
That's different. That's different because she just told me, she was like, "You might possibly experience some weight fluctuation because it might mess with your appetite a little bit." It did, bro. Like, I don't eat. I eat when I feel like eating, but like otherwise I don't really
That's a
eat. I've
good
been
thing.
taking steroids this week. I've been nonstop hungry.
Oh, steroids.
I've been
yeah,
so
no, but
hungry, and
not
it's so
not eating until you want to eat is a good thing.
yeah, but like
Because people eat because they're bored, and
but
then they
I'll
get.
get
That's
I'll
how you
get
get
like
fat.
genuinely where I'm feeling weird, like I'm
Do
feeling
you remember
funky
bringing
and
me
I'll-
food in the shop, making me eat because I wouldn't eat for 2 or 3 days
yeah,
on end?
but I'll
Yeah.
get to where I'm like feeling weird, and I'm like, okay, I need to eat. Like I'll start getting irritated at work, and I keep snacks in my bag, and I'll have to like eat a snack because I'll be like, okay,
Now, see,
I just
that
haven't been eating.
that was your mama.
I don't normally get hangry, but
Yeah,
like,
but your mama, she would get, if she had an hour and a half window between snacks, that if she went past the 2-hour mark, now she does not realize that she's hungry. She's just mad.
well, like all
And she'll just be mad for the next 4 days until you finally feed her something.
I gotta force myself to eat like breakfast, or else I won't. Like I force myself to get up and eat breakfast so that like I have some energy
I
for
don't
the
eat
day, or else
breakfast. Well, when people are like, "Hey, have you eaten breakfast today?" No.
Yeah, but see, for
I
most
made you breakfast this
for
morning,
most
and
of
you
my
weren't there to
life,
No,
get
you
it.
didn't.
I haven't
I
required
didn't know
food.
that you weren't home, and I made you some. It's in the fridge if you want it.
Oh, I saw it. It looks kind of soggy now.
It probably is.
Soggy milk bread.
It's okay, Dad. You can have it.
I made him some like toast with some cheese and eggs on it, and I made homemade hash browns.
You know what she made her father?
Literally not home.
Well, you were also gone.
I was like, okay,
You
I'm
can
gonna
have
go
it.
to bed early.
I was actually going to tell you you could eat it, but I didn't see you until I had forgotten about it. I just remembered that I made it.
No, yesterday I
okay.
was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed early. I gotta work tomorrow. I stared at the ceiling till like 12 o'clock.
Well, yeah. That's what you do
Why?
unless you just take crazy amounts of melatonin. I don't take crazy amounts. I take
No,
5
it really
milligrams.
depends on the day because sometimes I just don't. I'm just not tired. But then
Yeah.
sometimes I hit the bed and I'm instantly asleep. It's one.
Well, that's
it's
nice.
there's no in between.
Most of the time, it's just straight up. Like, even with melatonin, I'm not. Unless I'm working full time and taking melatonin, I'm not
I have to
sleeping.
take a ton of gummies to just pass out.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
And
I
it's
can
like, even when I
well, no,
sleep,
I
I
can
don't
fall
sleep
asleep
restfully.
very easily in almost any situation. My back starts spasming and wakes me up.
I just like I wake up at least 15 times during the night.
Mhm.
Like I don't is that
That's not normal.
I've heard that it's not normal. People have told me.
You got sleep apnea.
I don't know, bro. Like
You don't
sometimes
snore.
I don't. Sometimes it'll be like I'll just wake up and I'll just need to change positions or like whatever. But sometimes it'll be like I'm up for like 15 minutes in the night just randomly just because my
If
body
I
said wake up.
if I tell
Like
myself
I wake up
I need to get
consistently.
up, I wake up 30 minutes before my alarm. I wake up at 3:30.
Oh yeah.
In between that, because I have an
I do
alarm
that
at
too because
4,
I'm
5, 6.
paranoid. I'm terrified of being late because of you.
I
It
wake
is
up.
genuinely a
I
huge fear of
have
mine.
not given you that paranoia.
Yes, you have. We have to be 2 hours early to everything, or else we are
No,
not on time.
I understand it now. I don't.
I'm 30 minutes early max
15.
because I also have a fear of being too early.
But
Now, see,
it depends on the stuff, cause like
I get to work 30 minutes early because if you
work.
don't go to
Yes, that's reasonable. You
Yeah.
get to
but
work
if
30
at my
minutes
work,
early.
people don't do that. And if you don't get to work at my work and have time to like go to the bathroom, you're not gonna get to go because you have to be in state ratios. Like sometimes there's not always people to like go in and relieve you of bathroom breaks, or like you gotta wait 10, 15 minutes by the time you
Well,
call. So like you gotta go in with enough time to first of all
You're
get
gonna get bladder
yourself
cancer.
to go to
and
the
see,
bathroom,
I also
and then
don't
let the other
mind
person in the room go to the bathroom.
just sitting in the parking lot.
I don't either. I love
Granddaddy
parking lot
used to
time.
go to work
Sometimes
at 3 a.m.
I'll have
Yeah.
parking lot dinner.
Now, see, I had to be at work at
I
7.
love parking lot dinner.
I used to go to work. I'd be there at 5:30. I would read my Bible for 30 minutes. I'd have some
Yeah,
prayer time.
that's my me time.
Granddaddy would literally get up at 3 in the morning.
I will get there
Yeah.
30 minutes early to my 30 minutes early, but that's my car time. That's my me time. I like having my
If
time
I
in
did
my
that,
car.
I would fall
I
asleep.
actually thought that I would, I hated my hour drive to Manchester when I worked in Manchester every day. But then when I moved to a closer facility, I started I didn't have my time because I'd listen to the Bible on the way to work. I'd have some prayer time in the mornings. In the afternoons, I'd listen to an audiobook. Like I had
Yeah.
that unwind time. And then it was so annoying while I was in it. But then as soon as I left, I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
I kind of missed my unwind time.
I like being closer to work because I feel like I have more useful mornings. But the thing
Oh,
is,
it sucks driving an hour to work.
like I get up at 7 to go to work at 10. I'm ready by 7:30 and then I'm just like sitting there killing time.
No,
But,
that's
like-
terrible. Don't do that. If you've got to
But
be
I-
somewhere at 10 and you're ready at 7 and you got nothing to do, that is the worst state of mental existence
But
on
like
the planet.
I also like that because anxiety is comfortable for me, okay? It's just all I've ever known. So
I just hate wait. Like that's why I leave so early. Like if I have nothing to do for the 3 hours before I go pick up your mama, like I'll go sit and listen to an audiobook and take a nap in her parking lot because once I'm at her
But I
parking
can
lot,
do that at home.
I've achieved that. I can't do that at home. Like it just
I can, but I feel anxious about time. But also, like, I don't mind feeling a little anxious because I always feel that way.
yeah, that's not right. Where are we at, Mama?
Time wise,
45 hours.
59, 55.
59,
56,
55. So we're right at an hour.
59,
All
1
right.
hour.
Well, this is the bonus episode of the Cunning Buffoons
What a
podcast.
way to leave it.
What a way to leave it. Yeah, we're going to cut it off right there. I just wanted to give a little extra content and some insight into the insanity that is our family. If you like us, like,
I've been like
subscribe,
asleep
enjoy
this
us.
whole episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know.
It'll be
I'm
okay.
so
Malachi's the new
We'll make up for you. It'll be okay. All right, guys. That's it.